Why are you supporting Trump?
Trump, me personally, he just straight up to the point with everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it. We could take off the magic glasses now. Everything is exposed.
When I was a Democrat, I was a convict. Now I'm a Republican, I'm a business owner.
I am putting all of my hope on Donald Trump. Trump, baby drill, baby drill.
You know, Democrats promise. They always know what to say, but they don't actually give anything.
The increased number of black men voting for Trump is go back to common sense. Enough's enough.
Welcome to Philadelphia. A different Philadelphia. This is pretty much the most Harris city in the country. But I heard the place was changing, voting conservative more this year, especially the minorities. So we came here to find out if that's true. There's a lot of Trump support in Philadelphia, way more than I thought there'd be. I don't know, there's a big buzz around here that you don't hear about on the regular news. But at this point, I'm sure you're not surprised by that. All right, YouTube. Well, it's day 2 on the Swing State Tour, and we're in Philadelphia, as you can see. And I'm going to try to talk to some people here. I heard that there was a big push for the minorities were voting for Trump in much bigger numbers this year in Philadelphia. So I came to find out why, and if that's true. And so we're going to drive through some of these neighborhoods and try to talk to some people today in Philadelphia and see if that's indeed the case. This is a very democratic city, one of the most democratic cities in the country, very liberal. They traditionally do not like Trump here, but we're going to find out if there's been a change. So let's go right now into some of these neighborhoods and see. Philadelphia, population 1.8 million. They say, as Philly goes, so goes the rest of the country. Pennsylvania's a must-win state, and the election might be determined right here, right on this block. Most of the state's conservative, but this big blue dot down here, it's enough to sway the whole state. So we came down here to try to get the vibe and figure out if enough people have had enough of the last 4 years and they changed their ways. That's what you hear about anyways, how the blacks and Latinos and even some middle class is voting for Donald Trump this year. Philly's changing, people say. So we drove through the middle class to pockets of town to get a better feel for it. Spent 2 days driving all over Philadelphia. Still trying to find some Trump people. We're in a little bit nicer neighborhood called Mayfair that several people told us to go to.
I'm going to go, I have to go right.
Yeah. Oh, there's one up there, Trump.
Yeah. Okay,
all right.
Okay.
We're finding more Trump stuff up here. First day was kind of tough getting what I wanted. I was told that Mayfair's diverse and the politics up here had changed. There were people voting for Trump up here. They're pissed off. Go up there and talk to them. But there aren't a lot of political signs in this hood. Not nearly as many as I thought there'd be, which made it harder to get people's opinions. So finally, we just started knocking on doors and asking people how they're voting. I was hoping to find people who'd say, "I'm voting for Trump this year, Nick. No more Democrat for me." But that wasn't what I got at the beginning.
I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris because there's one thing about Donald Trump. He just has to do one thing. He just had to say, "I denounce racism." He has a hard time just saying those words.
I feel as though Trump is trying to divide everybody. He talks a lot of nonsense. He putting a lot of fear in the Caucasian heart when, you know, everybody else trying to put love in their heart, and he's trying to separate us.
Is this going to be on YouTube?
It might.
All right, Nick, because she's a character.
All right. Well, talk to me about...
I'm not voting for Trump, that's for sure.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I think women have a right to do what they want to do with their body. And plus, he wants to be a dictator. Everybody know what he's trying to be. Okay, and we don't need no dictator.
Okay.
We're at the top.
It's horrible, you know. I think Harris would do a great job, you know. I don't think he's going to do nothing but mess us up further.
How do you think the country's going right now?
Well, the crime rate is up, prices are up, all that's going on, you know, but I don't know why it's like that. But it is, you know. We got to get better somehow, especially with this crime, because everybody trying to move out of Philadelphia for one.
Yeah. For about half a day, the only Trump supporters I could find was this guy, who appeared to be drunk. No, all right. No.
Donald Trump, very good.
Very good, okay.
That's very good. It's very good.
And the ice cream man.
Excuse me?
For president, who are you voting for?
I don't know right now.
You don't know?
Yeah, for right now, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one are you leaning towards?
Which the best for you?
Which one?
Which the best for you?
Trump is the best for us. You know Trump?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. All right. I'm looking for people that are voting for Trump to interview them.
No.
Are you guys voting? Anybody voting for Trump? No English at all?
Yeah.
Okay. What game are you watching?
We're watching game of Brazil.
Okay. All right. Take care, you guys. Man, nobody speaks English. This is tough. Walking around Philly on a Saturday night, trying to find somebody. All right, we got one here. Let's see if they're, come on, somebody talk to me. But then the story developed. Pulled over because I saw this house and this guy spelled it all out for me. So I'm not seeing a lot of Trump signs in this neighborhood. What were you saying? There's not a lot of people that are talking about it?
Yes. So I've talked to other neighbors who have said that they are going to vote for Trump, who may not have voted for him in the past, but they may not publicly announce that they're going to vote for Trump. And I me personally believe that was the issue that he had with the last election, where people weren't as open about, and then other people thought that they were by themselves, so they weren't, supported by their neighbors. But this time I think it's a little bit different because I'm just tired of the last 4 years.
So you think there's more Trump support in this neighborhood than it indicates?
I would say that, because you're going to publish this, I would say that people who are American citizens, regardless of race, religion, regardless of party, more people who I've spoken with support Trump than support Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Yes.
Apparently, a lot of the middle class here in Philadelphia are fed up and they're voting conservative. They're just not being very vocal about it. But you can imagine why. This is Philadelphia. So maybe all these American flags are the USA, but not putting Trump stuff out. Keep seeing American flags, and then here's, the guy's right, there's immigrants like on all the stoops and porches that don't really speak English, all over in here. The black community here, they're so fed up. They're organizing events where they're getting together to talk about how they can energize their black neighbors to wake up, tell their family and friends, don't vote for her. Come on now. Vote for Trump. Democrats have made your lives difficult. It's been all over the news. Minorities in the U.S., they've had enough. That's how bad Kamala and Joe have done. Pissed off their base. Have you seen a lot more people in Philadelphia that say they're going to vote for Trump?
Yeah, of course. I mean, me personally, yeah. I always see a lot of people for Trump, yeah.
But like, they don't,
of course.
Usually, you don't see a lot of signs. They're not vocal about it, though.
I mean, you're going to see signs, but bro, this is nothing to do out here. They're going to rip them off. It don't even got to be us. It could just be bored kids or people.
Are very vocal. They're definitely saying, hey, we're voting for Trump, voting for Trump, voting for Trump. So it's been a lot.
Here, take the mic. Yeah, there you go, man.
For the most part, from what I see, a lot of people are voting for Trump and speaking good things about him, saying, "Hey, the dude has great energy. He's bringing great energy to the world, to what we're up against right now." So that's why I feel like it's a good it's a good twist. Like, all right, cool. Well, if the energy's great, then why not? Then go with him. You know what I mean? So
I heard there's a lot more Hispanics that are voting for Trump this year in Philadelphia. Is that true?
It is true.
Why are they jumping on board now more this year than before?
More probably because of what Biden Harris.
They just don't like.
Just haven't delivered. They haven't delivered anything to the community that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing here that they, Democrats promise. They always know what to say, but they don't actually give anything. Once they get in office, it's just what happened.
Why are you supporting Trump this year?
Because it's something new. I want to see a change. I want to see different results. I want to see, what everything we're talking about. I want to see it come to light, and I think he's going to be good for us.
Did you vote for Democrats in the past?
I did. And
so,
to be honest, I'm gonna get a lot of criticism for this, but at the end of the day, I'm here. So
you're gonna get criticism because you're voting for Trump from your friends and family?
It's good criticism. You know what I mean? But I come from a Democratic everything. You know what I mean? My friends, my cousins. One of my best friends is a Democratic city councilman, right now. You know what I mean? So he can't stop the movement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can't stop what's about to happen. So
okay. Yeah.
Gotta deal with it.
Thank you. Can you share your opinion on? I hear that there's a lot more minorities voting for Trump in Philadelphia this year. Have you guys noticed that at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
I mean, I feel like we see what the Democratic Party is doing. I feel like it's sort of oppressive in a way. What they're doing. Making all these policies and making us go through certain things that shouldn't be happening. And it seems like, voting for Trump, would be a different.
Why are you supporting Trump?
Trump, me personally, he just straight up to the point with everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it. We could take off the magic glasses now. Everything is exposed. The man is really putting us on with game. You know what I'm saying? But we could sit here and we could meet somebody new right now and they're gonna tell us what we want to hear. No, I like the raw, I like it straight up. I like, and it's all energy, it's all who you are, So me personally, I like him just because of who he is. I don't even know what's his reasons, what he's bringing to the table, but just him in general is just, he the man, you know what I'm saying? So.
Now, Philadelphia is one of the most diverse cities in the nation. 43% of the population is African American. And the polls are saying the black community is going to vote for a Republican for president at a higher rate since 1960. I know, right? So Philadelphia is just about the poorest of all of our cities, where 20% of the population lives in poverty. But look at this. The poorer Philly residents get, the more conservative they become. And the Latinos, the same thing. Winning over the Latino population here could be a key to winning the state. There's almost 700,000 eligible Latino voters in Pennsylvania. They're the fastest growing demographic group in Philadelphia. And look at this. The Latino vote's way up for Trump too. Do you think, you keep hearing that it's 50-50 in Pennsylvania. Do you think that's true? Do you think the polls are right? Yeah, do you think the polls are right?
I'm not sure, but I can't judge that. I'm going to go Republican this year, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Why are you supporting Trump this year?
I guess since Obama, it kind of introduced everybody, like me and my friends, to politics. We wasn't really into politics. So watching it from 2008 to now, the Democrats not as good as they say. It's kind of like smoke and mirrors for real. So at this point, might as well go Republican.
Did you hear what Obama said a couple weeks ago when he came out and asked?
Yeah.
Did that offend you guys at all?
I wasn't offended, but I definitely some of my friends was. I don't really care what people say, but a lot of my friends took that the wrong way.
Like, how did your friends take it?
Basically, he can't tell us how to think. Nobody can tell you how to vote or think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying,
yeah.
What he had said?
Man, you got the freedom.
What he had said on that? I forgot what he said.
He said, "Come on, brothers, you need to vote for her. You're just not voting for her because she's a woman. Do your part and support the Democrat Party." And they were like, what is that supposed to mean? A lot of people.
The same Democratic Party that started the KKK, the same Democratic Party that was opposed to all the civil rights movements in history, and the list goes on, but we won't contact that. Them same people that use race to divide and conquer, when you see everybody here, different race, we don't care about that. We don't judge people off race. We go off character, you know what I mean? What people stand for. So it's different. They can't gaslight us, psyop us into thinking what they want us to think, like he said.
Yeah.
We're free thinkers, and that's why they are panicking. Straight up.
Do you think the polls are wrong? Because you keep hearing...
The polls been wrong. Do you think that the COVID numbers were right?
Yeah.
You know what people are complaining about? Inflation. No one likes to see a grandmother putting her prescriptions on her credit card. Nobody likes to see that. And it doesn't matter what race you are. Whether it's a black grandmother or a white grandmother, she's older than you. You know that woman has worked. You know she has. No one likes to see an elderly woman in Dollar Tree grocery shopping. You don't like to see that because you know she doesn't have enough money. She doesn't have enough, so why should our senior citizens have to live that way? It's not okay. It's not okay for our young people to feel that they will never, ever, ever, ever be able to buy a home. Ever. Right? It's not okay. I've had enough. It has to stop. I believe that the American people, we're going to band together, we're going to vote red, and we are going to send Donald Trump back to the White House where he should be.
I think it's always been the same. Philadelphia is a rough city for conservatives or Republicans, as opposed to Democrat. But I do think a switch is coming. It's only because of the pockets. Everybody's hurting. Everybody, no matter if you're black, white, Spanish, it doesn't matter. Everybody's hurting. We need better for everybody. So no matter what you voted before or what you believe in, you got to believe in the country first. And that's what's more important. I don't care about if you tweet, bad names and stuff like that. That's not really important to me. The country's important.
Yeah.
And for my grandkids.
Yeah.
Which is I have here now. They're extremely important. In a world, what are you going to leave them? When I go, what am I going to leave them?
Mm-hmm.
A world of nothing. It's got to change.
Do you think it's 50-50 in Pennsylvania, or do you think that the polls are wrong?
I think the polls are wrong, period. I'm not sure of the percentages, but polls are definitely wrong. That's misleading by a lot of people, by media. So yes, absolutely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So you guys think Philadelphia is waking up a little bit and maybe not voting?
Not only just Philadelphia.
No, the whole world.
Yeah.
People in other countries, they can't even vote for us.
Yeah, the minorities definitely. Because the Democrats promised the minorities, all these things, and we don't see any benefits. Like I said, it seems like they're a system of oppression that promises and promises and never comes through.
Yeah.
It's like a pimp. They sell you dreams, you know what I'm saying? They never really give you that, and they make sure you take care of it, but they never give you the money, and they never really get you out of that position.
Well, it's about time, right? I mean, it took forever. Why did it take so long for people to kind of go, wait a minute, we've been voting this way, and it's taken
I don't think anybody exposed them as much as Trump did and woke everybody up.
Powerful enough to do so. The media is controlled. Everything is controlled. If you don't, they're going to crucify your character, or they'll just get you locked up, or they'll do whatever they can. You get shamed.
Well, I keep hearing a lot more black folks in Philly are voting for Trump this year. Is that true?
The increased number of black men voting for Trump is go back to common sense. Enough's enough.
So you're seeing that. You're hearing that in your community.
And some people, if they still have a concern or maybe scared or fearful, whichever right to be, I'm not going to take that away from them. They have that because what you're hearing, what you're seeing, it is some concern because they do have other people in his ear because other people lobbying for their agendas. And there's some agendas out there that is to be concerned about. So it's like how to say we're the lesser two evils. But when you look at it's not that the people are voting for Trump in this case. There's a lot of people trying to vote for Democrats at the rate it's been going.
Yeah, I think Trump would definitely be a better candidate for the position. He's did it before, so he's experienced.
Yeah.
So I feel like an experienced person is always going to know more than the next person.
But is it against, if you say that in neighborhoods, you say that to your friends, are they like, what are you talking about?
No, they cool with it. They actually cool with it.
Yeah,
there was a time where the wave was so crazy around 2020 that it don't even matter. it don't even matter what it's just the way he carry himself. We just like at first it was kind of different because we, you know, on TV you supposed to just glamorize everything, supposed to be just diamonds. Now it's just like, yo, he just was raw with everything. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never see somebody just, you know, just be themselves like that online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's basically my opinion, personally.
Let me ask you guys one more question. Whoever wants to answer. If it was, say it wasn't Trump, say it was J.D. Vance, say it was another Republican, would you be on board with the Conservative Party as much as you are Trump? Is it more about just picking a different party, or is it all in on Trump?
As long as their policies aren't the same as, you know, what we've been dealing with. As long as there's some type of change, you know.
So it's more about the change.
Right. And he's the one speaking of those changes,
Okay.
So obviously.
Yeah. Basically being conservative, like you said.
And the qualifications for being a leader is you have to have leader qualities. You can't be someone that can't lead to be a leader. So it goes based on who has these qualities to not be pushed over, not get taken advantage of, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Who's going to do that? And right now we got, you know, the answer is Donald Trump, and Vance is going to be. It's Vance 2028. That's how they're going to follow it up. He's going to win. He's going to be our next president, 48th president. So that's just how it's going to carry over. We may see a switch from a blue Democratic Philly in the next 10 years to a red. Who knows? All the Democratic cities are Philly, Chicago, LA, DC,
New York,
What's their condition? All the ones that's fucked up. They got all these shootings, all this. They can't. You can steal over as long as it's not over $1,000. Like they got all this craziness. I went in the Wawa the other day. There's nothing in there. You don't even have to pay. I was like, we're the only people paying. There's nothing in the store.
You felt like you was doing something wrong for paying.
I'm from California. I know about that.
Yeah, I've never been somewhere where like people steal so much. I'm like, am I doing something wrong for paying?
I know. I'm actually paying.
Deodorant, you gotta get it out the cage.
Oh man.
I know. For a deodorant.
Yeah.
I am voting for Donald Trump for the second time. This is so interesting. The first time I voted for Donald Trump, I was a police officer here in Philadelphia. I worked the riots. Yes, we were so incredibly disappointed. We couldn't believe it when things didn't go as expected. But we have hope, of course. So I am putting all of my hope on Donald Trump. Trump, baby drill, baby drill. He is what we need in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is Trump country. There's absolutely not a doubt in my mind about that, and I'll tell you why. America needs to get back on track on the road to prosperity. This is what we need. We need prosperity in our country. We need order at the border. We need a lack of, we need to invest in a lack of transparency in our children's education. I am a public school educator in Chester City, and I see it all of the time, and it's something that definitely has to stop. The Department of Education has grown too large. So what we need parents more involved in their children's education. We need them to know what's being taught in the classroom. We need to know what books are offered in the classroom. You agree? Yes, this is what we need. We need order at the border. And people say to me, Alfie, that's racist. No, it's not. Okay? What is a country without a border?
You're giving trillions of dollars to a bunch of a country around the world that we don't even know the war's about. Most of us don't need to know the difference. We try to say Palestine, Israel. Most people don't really know. We got to keep talking about it over and over again. But yeah, $750 to people in North Carolina.
That's where we're from, North Carolina.
Come on.
That was
$750. He is the only white man in America to stand on a platform and say, black people, we owe you. Period. That's where my common sense started. He attempted to make sure he was a man of his word. It was blocked. I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm not doing this because I hate this side or that side. I'm starting from that common sense that this man said, only white man in America to stand up and say we owe.
As I said, trust me, I used to be a cop in Philly. I know, okay? I've seen the car accidents with those who are here in the country illegally, driving with no driver's license, and they're injured. Then what? They go to the hospital, they have no money, they have no health. It's not okay. It is not okay to permit people to come into a country and place them in a permanent underclass where they have no hope. They will never, ever, ever see the American dream because it simply is not in their reach because the resources are not here. It's not okay. So that is the reason Americans need to put their foot down and say no.
So I'm not saying you got to be dedicated to anything. Let's use common sense. So if you're not completely a Republican or Democrat, but let's think for a second. The Democrats right now are saying boys should be girls. Common sense. That's just stupid. They said Trump got a 2025 plan. Hold it. Did y'all meet the man? This man, if it was his plan, he would not let somebody else claim his plan. So if somebody got an agenda out there, like everybody needs to have an agenda, and some things may be in line, but that's not his plan. Do we have some things to be concerned with Mr. Trump about? Yes, we do. January the 6th people shouldn't even be discussed anymore. They should stay in jail. That was wrong. Cops having 100% immunity, that's just crazy. That's scary. The immigration issue is an issue because the immigration issue got to be bigger because they came in as immigrants to go into black and minority communities to weaken that base. It just got out of hand and now it's flowing to everything else. But now what they did, common sense, you're giving a bunch of people money, and thank you Chicago, shout out to Chicago, y'all actually did a good job of waking the country up when y'all cursed and said enough's enough and said, darn it, this is crazy.
There's no prosecution of crime in this area. That's why people leave. That's why people are fed up. And there was a dirt bike chase on this street just last Sunday night. There was a helicopter and about 30 cops chasing a guy on a dirt bike around there. That wasn't on the news. They don't put that on the news.
No, because you keep hearing that the Philadelphia suburbs are turning more blue.
And I completely agree with that. I have family Doylestown, I have family in Norristown, I have family in Souderton, and that was true 8 years ago. That was true at the initial Obama, and there was a transition of people thinking that there's time for a change, and then the change happened. But now, in retrospect, people are looking back and say, okay, wait. Maybe not so. Maybe there was something that I felt guilty about that made me make the decision, but there are people now who are coming back and saying, okay, I have a family, I have a life, and voting Republican is best for the majority of the people who I know.
Mm-hmm. Would you say 50-50? This is like the most swingiest of all the states, swingiest. Do you think that that's off? Do you believe that the polls are correct?
So 50-50 majority vote, yes, because if you look at like inner city Philadelphia, and if you look at Pittsburgh, and if you look at there may be another county that I'm not sure, like way up of Northwest, there's a lot of people in those areas. But when you start looking at the individual counties and you just count the counties, the majority of the counties are Republican, but they're not worth the same amount of delegates it's just the way that it is. And I mean, I ride the train. I don't ride it now, but I used to ride a train. I work downtown. And 2 elections ago, you see the people, the homeless people that are on begging for change, they have people that took them to voting polls. It wasn't Republicans that were giving them money to take them to register to vote and take them to voting polls. I don't know. They take it down to the nitty-gritty to try to take any advantage that they can, and there are a lot of times that there may be some Republicans who just say, well, I'll just go and I'll vote, and I won't do that. I won't encourage my neighbors. I won't ask my friend. I won't ask my neighbor. I won't give the guy a cookie on the corner and say, hey, will you vote?
Right.
Democrats do that.
Yes, I know.
And now I do believe that there's a huge effort to push for registration of Republican votes this year, and there's going to be a huge feet on the ground outreach to actually get people to care, to that their one vote, you may not think that it matters because Pennsylvania always goes that way. People care more now, and hopefully it's not 50-50. I hope that he wins by 8 or more points in Pennsylvania. You know, so I don't want to say that I know one personally on the neighborhood, but I don't want to call her out. Plus, I know that she's not home.
Okay.
But a minority who is a Democrat, and she had said the first time that she's going to vote Republican just because of the neighborhood and the illegals.
Yeah.
That issue alone. Nothing with anything other than just our neighborhood has went down because it seems like Democrats don't care, because the more that come in, the more that they believe will vote for them ultimately to stay here.
What do you want? Do you make an interview?
Yeah.
I don't speak English.
You speak good enough.
No enough. What do you want? About what?
About how you feel about Trump. Why are you voting for Trump?
Trump?
Yeah. Can I
take a look? Man, we have no option. Just Trump. No more options. You like this? You understand? You know what I mean? Exactly. Then, if Trump don't go to the government, I move from the United States.
You're going to leave the U.S. if Trump loses?
Yeah, because Kamala is a left guy, and your ideas I don't like. I old man, I traditional family, from God, everything I do for better words.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't speak very well English, but I try.
That's good. Have you seen a lot of different people moving in that have made crime worse in this neighborhood?
I don't know, man. You did take a look.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But I know if people look at this and they make a bad face for me.
They do?
Yeah.
They don't like that flag.
Don't like Trump.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, thank you so much. Why do you think there's a big turnaround in this state? Because you hear it's 50-50 in this state. That's two questions. But why do you think there's a turnaround in his direction right now?
So I would only speak just for this specific block of this neighborhood. And over the last 2.5 years, homeowners left, and they were purchased, and they're being rented by non-families. For an example, if you just do a loop around back, you'll see there's about 30 men outside. They drink all day, all night. They have their trucks lined up. There aren't families here anymore, and there are some families who miss the neighborhood of 5 years ago, where homeownership meant things, and you had a family, and you worked, and you took care of yourself, and you said hi to your neighbors. I have neighbors who I haven't spoken to that don't speak nor understand English, and it used to be no houses. Now it's 50% of the block. And maybe that's a Trump thing, maybe that's not a Trump thing, I don't know, but people are leaving Philadelphia because of Krasner and, not wanting to prosecute small crimes that turn into larger crimes, that turn into people leaving, and then you don't have... We're not trick-or-treating this year. We didn't decorate. We decorate every year, my neighbor and I, just because we don't feel it's safe here anymore.
Is it like an illegal immigration thing?
So I don't know.
You don't know?
That would be purely
I did
speculation
notice
on my part.
Yeah.
But I would say that if you just hung around a little bit, and if you drove up,
I've been driving around and I see a lot of non-English.
You would see that people would putting grills on the corner and selling food directly across the street. The DEA was here a couple of weeks ago. They have what I would speculate to be an illegal daycare center, 24 hours a day. People are dropping their kids off. I don't know one like that. I know that you need to be licensed. I don't think that they are. The guy out back sells cases of beer right out back. He actually has a delivery service with a sign out there. So 3.5 years ago, that didn't happen. Where I grew up, that didn't happen. Typically, people who are concerned with laws and following the law don't do that. So it's an assumption that they would be immigrants. Just an assumption, but just observing. That's what I would believe it to be.
So the families that are leaving this, where are they? Are they leaving Philadelphia, and are they just going to the suburbs? Or
Suburbs,
okay,
mostly either Monco or Bucks County. Not far, because, you know, a lot of us still work here. We still, you know, have family here, but you just want to get out of the city of Philadelphia.
I don't know. We'll see how things go here. Looks to me like things are changing in Philadelphia big time. Don't believe the polls, people. There's a red wave coming, people are saying. I drove around here and talked to a lot of people, and I believe it. There's a lot of people here. They're not voting like they used to. And if Philadelphia does that, how's it going to be across the rest of the country? People here in Philly are telling me the only thing that can stop Trump this year is cheating. But that's not my job to look into that. I'm just a bystander.
Hi, I'm TV talk show host, investigative journalist, and now author Josh Bernstein. In my debut book, Preserving Liberty, Bold and Brave Solutions to Save America and Create Permanent Freedom, you will learn how to restore voter integrity and confidence. You will also learn how to balance the electorate to make sure that it is fair for all voters. You will also learn how to end the class warfare argument. You will also learn how to dismantle and rein in Washington, D.C. permanently. Of course, we will also talk about ways to balance the national debt, to pay off some of the national debt, as much as 10 trillion of it. And of course, we will also talk about how to rein in the media and to make them more accountable. So please check out Preserving Liberty. You can go to Amazon and get your book today. Thank you.